Rebuilding My Body. Brutal first workout after surgery by Blood Eagle Mike.
Do like a Kevin Levrone style early 90s workout. 5 sets of 12 on 4 different chest machines. I want to fucking bleed. Problem is I'll just bleed out of my stitches and no one wins that one. I'm just done.
What is a Blood Eagle? ChatGPT can elucidate that for you, but essentially it was a Viking torture technique of splitting open somebody's lungs and spine. It's a jest at the idea that Dr. Mike essentially did that to himself surgically.
Trying to lift, like, you guys, no joke, multiple dreams in the last week and a half about lifting. What's up, guys? Dr. Mike here. This is my first week of working out after a 6-week break after getting surgery. I remember every single part.
And the subs are flying in. Coming at you live. Twitch.tv/Philion TV. We got one rule over here. And it's Third Eye Global to the top, thanks to our CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Marin, Real One, as well as me, the CEO, Philion, and our shareholders, investors, and astute audience members. So what you're going to want to do is get on over to Twitch, is essentially what I'm saying.
Let's go see what I'm doing for the workout. Let's learn some things and see how much muscle I lost and how sad I am about it. My first exercise isn't even on my RP Hypertrophy app. It's just as a note in my actual first exercise, which is the Smith machine shoulder press. But it says warm up with really deep flies. And I used to do this all the time. I had injured my chest in a strange way that has still not been diagnosed properly.
Academics that say doctor like that around non-academics are weird. I would agree.
But stretching with super eccentrically loaded, very light flies for a few sets before working out really started to help me a lot. My chest got way better over the past few years.
So he can get chainsawed open for aesthetics, but still have a Norwood. That's diabolical. That's not coming from me. That's one of our chatters right there.
So I stopped doing this, but my mobility for how far I can bring my arm back this way has substantially declined. And I think in reintroducing this, which I'm doing now, into every push workout, which I basically do twice a week, I think is going to help that. In any case, it's a great warm-up for the shoulder joint. It's a great warm-up for the pecs and the front delts and everything like that. So light flies as a warm-up, and you're going to see me go pretty slow on the eccentric and hold that bottom position for quite some time. And every time I do it, I'll probably do like 2 sets of...
Is this for a pro card? What is the end goal here? Why is everyone chasing this elusive IFBB pro card? There's no aura in bodybuilding, bro. Why do I have to be the one to tell you that?
5 or 6 reps on this. Every time I do it, I'm trying to get a little bit lower. And so at the end, I'm going way lower than I was at the beginning. Over time, that's lower and lower and lower. A few months later, I should have some more mobility and my chest is all nice and healthy and all kinds of shit like that. Especially because I haven't trained in 6 weeks, I feel pretty tight, more tight than usual, but not in the fun way, not in the prom night way. Scott knows what I'm talking about.
Pro card that then you'll need to pay a fee for retaining it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's probably how that works. Should I gift the Chief of Soy Hassan a sub? Or are we above him? Nah. I think we're above that, Marin. In his case, it's to reinforce the fact that his methods work, but at this point, I don't see it boosting his app sales. It's a good point. But if you have to get surgery to prove that your methods work, I feel like that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that's not heavy. It's not hard. But that degree of stretch for that long in progressively more deep positions is a thing. Like, I don't have a pump right now or anything.
It's a fact. We just don't want them here, bro.
Like that. But it's really cool to be able to push that range of motion. Hopefully over the next few weeks, few months, I can actually get into a better ROM. I'm going to be rebuilding, obviously, all the muscle that I lost, which is surprisingly not.
This is the craziest picture I've ever seen in the shitness industry. I swear to God, he has a humiliation kink. This is not cool. It's not idealistic. I don't care that it's transparent. It's disgusting.
Not like a ton, but so my back and shoulders, rear delts, traps are going to get thicker. So I'm going to be kind of fighting that to see how far back I can reach. I don't know. It might be cool to be able to high bar squat again. I haven't been able to do that in a while. I don't know. That ship might have sailed, but just keeping that degree of mobility super high in the joint also allows me to engage my pecs better with a deep stretch and various training movements for the pecs. So I think it's all winners. Feeling pretty good, feeling pretty loose. Let's go to shoulder presses.
I mean, these types of workouts, predominantly machine, perfect for physical therapy, which is what he needs post fucking axe to the waist. But are they ideal for hypertrophy? I don't know. Look at the golden era of bodybuilding. A lot of heavy compound movements. Did they use machines? Sure. But relying on them as a crutch, no aura. Back in the day, they were machines. That's right.
All right. Did just the bar. I'm going to throw a plate on the side, see how that feels. I might stay with a plate. I might go to 185. Let's find out.
To be honest, I think Dr. Mike could really tap into the whole jiu-jitsu crowd as well, or more so than the bodybuilding crowd. And maybe make content about how he manages both of them instead of trying to specialize in bodybuilding at the age of 42.
A ton of this today. This is my first push workout back in 6 weeks. Feeling it out, seeing how things feel. 135 could be like, oh, okay, I feel something. I'll just stop right there and just do a set. If not, I'll just do a set of 5, rest a little bit, throw on 185, and kick it.
Jiu-jitsu or bodybuilding, which is more gay? Honestly, bodybuilding. Because one is mainly for vanity purposes, and you're getting judged by other men, and you're wearing a thong on stage, complimenting other dudes. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, yeah, you're actually touching and rolling around with other men and assuming dominant and submissive positions. But it exists outside of that vanity sphere where you're not necessarily getting judged by other dudes. And jiu-jitsu you can use for self-defense. Like there's a practicality to it.
Working weight, 15 reps. I'm gonna rest a little bit and get 5 more. That'll be my rep set, and then I'm done with this exercise. I'll tell you right after this, one of the reasons why I'm going extra light, and that you coming back might not have to go as light as me.
What the fuck is a myo rep?
Ooh, I feel it, you guys. That's what he said. I'm going light for 2 reasons. 3. Reason number 1, easing in tendon stuff. I just don't need a lot of weight to move the needle on muscle.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, bro. If you push the weight, you might bleed out. You might snap in half.
Growth. Number 2, I have a giant scar that just closed 3 days ago. And there's a lot of tissue damage in this area. So I'm still well into the recovery process. I'm not out of the woods yet. That happens more at like 12 weeks and I'm at 6. So one of my instructions from my doctor was that I can lift, but try not to generate a ton of intra-abdominal pressure because it pushes on everything that might not be 100% healed yet. So if I was to go heavier, yeah, I'd have to brace up a little bit more, downside. And the third reason is I'm just not that strong, you know. Something every man has to come.
Dude, I wonder if this permanently impacts your ability to push heavier weight. I would think so logically. So is the trade-off even there? Like, can you even get to a point of stimulus and progressive overload now that you've nerfed yourself via surgery? Is bro cooked? Or was this entire situation avoidable in the first place? Through a caloric deficit?
Come to grips with. He's never going to be the best. You know? Possibly not even as good as his old man. Yeah, brother. Jared Feather, I mean, who's my father. Max, picture of Jared Feather, my dad. Thank you.
1 to 2 years to be fully back. Damn. At that, he's gonna be like 45.
Best. You know, check this out. This is some real science. Which I've heard people saying in various places where I have a shaker is like, this is a regular size shaker. I'd be tiny. I'm a little man. Whee! So that's correct. Actually, it is a regular size shaker. So let me tell you guys about my supplement stack. No, wait, it's not really it. Is it? My intra-workout shake is composed of...
Taking Element, which is an endurance formula designed for athletes that run long distances or like Ironman trainees, cyclists, even boxing, combat sports where you're sweating profusely and losing a lot of salt is one thing. But I didn't work out, I didn't lift weights with an electrolyte formula at all, lifting heavy weights and getting a pump.
Precisely 4 things. Thing 1 is the Genius Shot Pure Genius Protein. It's got grams and grams of protein in it, 23 it says, and 0 carbs, 0 fat. It is a whey-derived protein, so it's awesome for intra-workout, muscular anabolism, enhancement, and mostly anti-catabolism, so that's really good. It's also super, super viscous. Good, I said that backwards. It's super, super low viscosity, so it's...
You just need to eat raw meat and look at the sun. I'm not taking a cum shot, dude. I've been seeing this thing shoved down everyone's throat. The Genius Shot, 23 grams of protein. Wow. Wow. You know what else is 23 grams of protein? A fucking piece of chicken breast.
Basically like more like juice consistency and taste, so I can really...
Because I have a brain and I'm able to use it correctly. That's right. Not many people. Some people are hard capped in bronze elo mentally. They never quite escape hell.
Really put it into a shake. I used to do this thing where I would drink like super thick chocolatey RTD shakes plus Gatorade, like shotgunning them, and that sucks. So this is great. Mix that in, and then I have about 30 grams of carbohydrate from Gatorade powder. It's the best. It's the red flavor chemicals that I like. Gatorade's awesome. I get this at the store, like Walmart, and
he burned like 100 calories. What the fuck is the point of all this, dude?
Meyer, if you're from the Midwest. And so it's awesome because it's just powder. I'm not rich enough to afford Gatorades one at a time. Like that. Then, ingredients.
Yes, you are. You literally are, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You have a airplane hangar on your property that is a private gym. You probably pull hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but you can't afford a single bottle of Gatorade.
Ingredient number 3 is a shaker of water, and then this is, as they say in Brazil, elemente, and as I say, as Mr. Nick Shaw says, elementi. Scott, it's element, right? Element, Mr. Nick Shaw. And so this basically has a bunch of different electrolytes and really, really awesome ratios. It's one of our products that sponsors the channel. And
that's preposterous. I mean, I think I put in more work streaming 8 hours a day and could actually use an Element sponsorship, you know. The toil, the hard, grueling labor versus the soy Smith machine fucking dumbbell fly bullshit. You can't.
I use it in my shakes because it allows me to increase the rate of hydration, because it makes...
He's the type of guy to get his intramuscular BCAAs and protein in after a 10-minute walk.
The electrolyte concentration in here, similar to what it is in my body, makes the transfer out of the intestines faster. Also replenishes electrolytes. A lot of times, especially now that it's getting into...
He's actually wrong here, because in order to enhance that gut to blood transfer of electrolytes as fast as possible, you need sugar. An Element right here says no sugar. 1 gram of carbs. So Gatorade, unironically, MOGs, well, it depends what you're doing. But if you want the fastest hydration possible and you're not really concerned about the ratios, you want glucose in it.
Summer, workouts are pretty hot, lose a lot of sweat. If I'm doing jiu-jitsu later in the day, I need electrolytes replaced because I don't want to feel all dry for that. So yeah, so I just do this. You know, check this out. This is some real science. And then,
or you could just like pinch some salt.
And then, this is real sciencey. The full scoop, 60 grams. I try to measure out a half. This is precision right here. Boom. And then, you do not have to shake it. Scott, do you shake yours? No. Just do that. Whoop. Cap. Whee! Every notch.
Dude, that's gotta taste like fucking asshole. Holy shit. Mix and matching supplements in a shake is diabolical behavior. Especially all the different flavors going on, like fruit punch, lemon lime, and like semen. You already know that protein shot tastes like actual chlorine.
And again, this thing stays in place. But we are working on that. That was embarrassing, right? And then I put that back here. I put it back on, and I don't throw it away. Walk with me. Yes. Yes.
I hate it. This is goblin behavior, dude.
My army. We have codes up there, so make sure that's blurred out, please. Logins for Wi-Fi.
Hack the Wi-Fi.
Also, those are technically legal documents.
Dude, what is that noise? I feel like that's his skin splitting, but it's just the microphone picking up the fabric.
It is so tempting, so tempting to come in after 6 weeks of not doing anything. I mean, like walking 8 to 10,000 steps a day or something, if that counts as doing shit. I haven't lifted. I'm just dying to lift. Like, you guys, no joke, multiple dreams in the last week and a half about lifting. And like, some of the dreams are like, I'm lifting and I'm happy. And some of it's like, oh, I've got a bodybuilding show coming up soon. And I haven't lifted in 6 weeks. Like, I did, Scott, like show up and you don't have your homework or whatever, even though you haven't been to college in years. You did well in college. Where are these dreams coming from? So I've been like, I'm starving for the shit. And it's so tempting. Like, what do I want to do right now? We go, real talk? I want to do like a Kevin Levrone style early 90s workout. 5 sets of 12 on 4 different chest machines.
Don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
And barbells and free weights and all that shit. I want to pump.
I bet he will get his pro card because there seems to be a lot of names getting their pro cards lately. There are no coincidences. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I think Larry Wheels just got his. It almost seems like a rite of passage. Once you reach a certain level of internet fame, you kind of get the pro card.
And bleed. Problem is, I'll just bleed out of my stitches and no one wins that one. And it's just so pointless and so injurious, so injury risky to do something like that. So
Larry Wheels won with a torn bicep too. You would think that would impair him, but I guess not.
Baby stepping my way in. Patience and wisdom. And it's so fucking patience and wisdom is so lame. Like, if you're a wingman at a party, or patience and wisdom, saying dry dicks 24/7. However, big dicks, muscular dicks, veiny dicks.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I needed that anti-comedic visual.
Let's go do chest presses. "15 reps. I'm actually intentionally trying to stay far from failure, because as you get close to failure, you start activating all of your core musculature much more. And I need a few more weeks before I can really activate that shit so that the scar heals, all the skin heals down."
Dude, I feel like too much science-based lifting actually just nerfs you. Because now everything becomes, not in his case because of surgery, but you can pathologize everything and overanalyze it, directly affecting your intensity in the workout. Nah, I think I'm going to leave a few in the tank just because I just, I don't want to fatigue my Goji tendons too hard here. So,
5 more reps here. Again, very far from failure. Putting in the work.
Yeah, we call that paralysis by analysis. Here at Third Eye Global, we fucking shoot that shit before it even starts to grow. We fire first. Correct course later. Shoot from the hip, that's right.
For a nice stretch at the end of all these reps. Oh. Part of coming back to training is you want to maximize range of motion as well. Your muscles and connective tissues got a little tighter, you weren't moving around. And so a part of this training is for returning muscle mass, a part of it is returning tendon strength.
I can't help to think, instead of taking that electrolyte protein slop, couldn't he just have a bit more chicken breast and a nice salad? Do you need to be an expert to know that that's just better for you? Why are you gay? So true. Dude, how do you not enjoy food, sustenance, fuel? I look forward to eating healthy, nutritious food. Maybe these bodybuilders are just psyoped where they don't use seasoning, they avoid oils, butter, whatever. There's no fat. So they just rely on fucking plastic maxed BPA glyphosate ridden garbage. Like, I don't I don't get it. Maybe they're addicted to cortisol, just forever being in a fight or flight, zero enjoyment state of mind. Bro, a Greek salad? I think it's called horotiki. Grilled chicken. Obviously, you add the protein, but sliced cucumbers, tomatoes, fresh feta cheese, olive oil, onions, peppers. You're hitting every micronutrient under the sun, as well as a lean protein source, plus the feta, plus the olive oil for the fats. I mean, like, it's not that hard, and it tastes delicious. Sardines. Even like sashimi, dude. Get a nice fresh piece of raw salmon. You're not beating that.
And a part of it is returning mobility. So it's a big deal. Really easy, great time to do mobility because weights aren't that hard. There's no excuse not to go super deep.
You're getting bioavailable, nutrient dense protein from animal sources, the way God intended.
And if you're coming back from an injury or from surgery or something, or just time off, because your ego can't possibly be attached to how strong you are, because you're not, can't be attached to your old weights that you were using, because that was a while ago, it's a really good time to kind of renorm your technique. So you were like, yeah, you're like, I've been machine pressing and I kind of been cutting it because I kind of wanted rep PRs. Now it's time to just go right back to basics, go super deep, super strict, hold a pause, and then as you build up, you stick to those new standards, you're gonna be getting bigger and stronger with less load, more safety, all the best things.
Or you can go to Indonesia and get man-made soy cooked over rotting plastic, fried in seed oils, the way God intended.
All right, inverted skull crushers, just like regular skull crushers, except upside down. The barbell doesn't move, the body moves. Typically, I would be 2 notches on the Smith machine lower than this.
Dude, he's 232.8 pounds at 5'4". That's the problem. The frame is not supposed to carry that much mass. I weighed myself after my workout with a little bit of liquid in me. 203 pounds. 6'3". 6'4" to the huzz.
That would cause a lot of intra-abdominal pressure requisite, and it would also exert my tendons quite substantially, because actually that's like pretty much doing a push-up, but only with your triceps. So I'm a few notches higher, nice and easy, gonna hit like a set of 15, then a set of 5, same idea, no big deal.
Honestly, I would just stick to calisthenics and the light machines. You gotta like rewire your entire body after putting it through that level of trauma.
All right, 15. Ooh, I'm gonna get sore. My triceps are sore for sure. Nice, easy 5. Just to smash in a little bit more volume, get a little bit closer to failure.
220 at 6'1" felt ridiculous. This dude is a heavy wart. Yeah, the heaviest I've been, I don't think I ever saw 230 on the scale, but I was definitely like 227, 225. And I can carry that weight, but at the time, I wasn't lifting to support it, so I was just chungus maxing. It's not ideal. How did I feel? Like fucking shit, dude. I felt like a bloated mess. I feel the best I've ever felt. And if you were to see me in the street, you'd probably be like, Yeah, he works out, but by no means am I like I don't look that impressed. I call it a sleeper build, but it's just lean muscle. I'm not as like when a lot of people, and I'm working on this thesis, right? A lot of people are psyoped by the fitness industry, or should I say the shitness industry, that like obviously for somebody my height, like I have this mental thing, like under 200 pounds victim weight. I haven't seen under 200 pounds since college, freshman year. Now, for whatever reason, it could just be my inner fatness being like, you don't want to get that skinny. But I could very well get down to like 195, I think. Anything under, I'm 195 is like the lowest I'd go. But I don't even think I'd be like peeled at that weight. But this is what I'm saying. When you eat like a bodybuilder and just like a meathead gym goer, you're eating a lot of high fat, high carb meals. You're just eating a lot of food, high protein, and then the carbs and fats are normally like interchangeable, right? But if you eat a lot of carbs and you're on creatine, your body holds on to so much water. So you gain a lot of mass in the form of water weight. But is that actual muscle tissue? Not really. It's not contractile tissue. So you'll have people be like, oh yeah, I'm 220. But like 15, 20 pounds of that is sheer bloat, water, and it'll make you stronger and you may perform well. But the second you stop eating like an asshole and realize that you don't actually have to be mass maxing, you'll notice how much quality muscle you actually have. Now, when I step on the scale, I mean, the weight is very consistent and it only goes up or down about 2 to 3 pounds.
Ta-da! Let's talk about progression a little bit. 6 weeks off. First week is basically warm-ups, more or less. Very light weights.
So to summarize, the rhetoric around building muscle in 2025, at least in the mainstream fitness aspect, is to basically just accumulate mass and become muscularly obese. There's no actual dedicated specific task that you're training for. Now, is it important to build muscle? 100%. But the supplements, the food, the nutrition advice is all geared towards a rather unhealthy end product.
Very low volume.
But what do I know?
A set and a half of everything, but the set is like 10 or 20 reps from failure. There's really like half a set. What I'm gonna do next week is probably keep the weights relatively similar, maybe go up a little bit if something was way too light, and then add volume. And the way I'm gonna do it is just adding another MyoRep set to everything. So this week I'm pretty much doing 2 MyoRep sets for most things, a set of 15 to 20, and then a set of 5 to 10, and then that's it. 5-second break between. You can do MyoReps in the RP Hypertrophy app. Just click on the exercise and it'll let you do MyoReps or whatever. Let's call it a...
Facts, a lot of people be taking DMAA pre-workouts too. Isn't that literally like meth? Like old school jacked 3D? No matter what this guy does, is just far off in some way, you know what I mean? He's far out, dude. He's on another planet.
25 total reps on average this week per exercise, working reps. Next week, I'm gonna go to like 35. Week after that, 45. Week after that, 55. Still with pretty light weights. The weights will go up a little bit, but mostly the volume goes up. I'm building work capacity. I'm rebuilding a ton of muscle. I'm rebuilding a ton of tendinous structures.
Dude, there's powerlifters that eat gummy bears and Sour Patch Kids mid-workout. I don't care if it gets you that one extra rep. That's insane behavior. It's for the pump, bro.
And connective tissues, but the weight's still relatively light. I'm gonna do this mesocycle for pretty much 5 or 6 weeks. And then hypothetically, at the 12-week mark, I get more or less the all clear from the doctor. It's like, go, shut up, everything is healed, is going to be healed, more or less. There's still a lot of inflammation that has to come down, and so I'm going to be reducing body water in my waist for like another, the rest of this year, really, actually, for 12 months total. That's going to come down, but functionally, as far as injury probability, I'm going to be totally cool after 12 weeks to kind of do all. So my next mesocycle after this one, that's going to be much more traditional. But I'll be used to multiple sets. The weights will be decent. So that next meso after, I'm going to start with lighter weights, 20 rep range.
I wasn't even introduced to the idea of micro, meso, and macro cycles until I was like 5 years into training. I just ripped progressive overload 5x5 and then just like that's get a Guido pump after I did I would split it up like this, right? You got your main meat and potatoes, bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, dips, pull-ups, barbell row, incline press, dumbbell or barbell, whatever, okay? Lunges, RDLs, Bulgarian split squats, like the main multi-joint, multi-muscle, compound, thick boy movements. The shit that sucks, that is grueling, that will add quality muscle mass to your frame because of the central nervous system engagement. There's no bullshitting those exercises. Then after that, after I did that, I'd move on to the fucking dessert, okay? I'd go and chase a pump. That's just what I did. But now it's like, unless you're making money from this shit, well, my macro cycle says that on week 6, if I optimize my myo reps, then maybe I'll be able to ink out 0.02 kilograms of muscle mass that previously wouldn't been able to do. Thanks to my app tracking all my progress. Oh, my sleep score's down. No wonder my rest has been subpar. Holy shit, dude.
Type of stuff, more than 10 or 15 or 5 or anything like that. But with normal sets, much closer to failure and the whole thing. So that adding volume progressively and raising weight a little bit over this next 5 to 6 weeks, that's a huge way to build up work capacity and to simultaneously not go overboard.
Jersey Shore taught me how to work out. Well, it's the reason why a lot of fucking meatheads and bro science practitioners mog the nerds.
Something too heavy and then regret it. So that's going to be my progression. After that, the progression is relatively normal. That next meso is going to be a little lighter. The meso after that, so we're filming this in May, then the June meso will be pretty good. The mesocycle that starts in late July, that's going to be pretty much like back to normal training. I should look cool, things should be functioning pretty well, so it's all going to be really groovy. All right, folks, super simple, super ROM lateral raises. Nice, I chose seated because it requires less core activation, and I got my core a little bit cut up 6 weeks ago. So I'm going to do these, set of 10 to 15, the rest.
A guy in my gym said today, going to the gym without gear is like going to the mosque without wudu. You are going, but it doesn't count. I don't know what wudu is.
At a 5 to 10 after, and that's it. No warm-up, because 15s are a warm-up.
And I would disagree, bro, because I got strong as a fucking brick shithouse relative to my age and size, to the point where I was outlifting so many juice heads at my gym. Do they have more bulbous, ripping, vascular muscles? Sure. But what the fuck does that get you? Health problems? Women thinking that you're gay? And subpar performance in any athletic endeavor because you're not even training for it. There's no rotation, anti-rotation, no plyometrics, nothing explosive. Just static, single plane, isolated exercises to maximize hypertrophy. You can't even wipe. You get gyno, you're literally turning into a woman. Congratulations, you're now transmaxing. You're accelerating the Norwood, so you're turning into a golem, if you're prone to it. You risk back knee, mood swings. It's gross, dude. Nothing about it is Lindy.
So, famous last words. Hoo-yah! Scott, my shoulders feel amazing.
Dude, a fucking Greek hoplite, literal peasant maxing soldier would run laps around these bodybuilders, bro. In hand-to-hand combat, they're washing them.
Amazing. 6 weeks.
Bro, juice heads don't even be strong nowadays. They just do a cycle for 3 months before summer and then don't even go to the gym after cycle. Yeah, it's pathetic. Imagine you're taking the literal compound V, the super Master Chief Superman fucking dose, and you're not even trying to turn into like, you're not trying to get as strong as humanly possible. You're just getting a fucking pump. It's so stupid.
Getting a crazy metabolite accumulation, knowing you're going to get sore from one set of 15 with the 15s, trippy.
A metabolite accumulation. What the fuck, dude? I disagree. Training taught me the value of delayed gratification. I trained for 14 years without roids. It's more for the mental state, you know what I mean? 100%. I mean, the idea that going to the gym without steroids is inherently cringe is cope. That statement is pure copium. As if you can't progress as a natural. I mean, that's just asinine. Second of all, the gym is more, or working out, fitness is more than just what you look like. It's how you perform, it's how you feel, it's what it does for you. I mean, it's the most primal delayed gratification feedback loop that we have. Sweat equity, hard work over time compounds into something productive for you. You can apply that to every single area of your life. But when you have absolutely retarded SARM goblins and juice heads speed running a life, like, sure, they may make money on social media now. They may have a fucking 12-pack. They may bang fucking e-hose and shit. But all that shit fades. And quick, too. It doesn't instill any grit. It doesn't instill any positive moral value system direction at all. In fact, it makes you weak and soy and cringe.
$20 reps. That's it.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, that's the perfect pause. I don't know if I want to see this, dude. And if you really want to win in any endeavor, you have to position yourself to play the long game. We've been doing this shit almost 9 years now. Philion fell off, Philion this, Philion... Good one. Still here, cranking.
We're going to do something that Scott has estimated as the first time in history this is done. We'll see if it works.
Dude.
I had to take my shirt off, but I have like shirt clip mic, talk to you guys, and if I put it down like on the belt, it doesn't work as well. So I'm going to try to do this. Guys, this is it. 232 pounds, no lifting for 6 weeks. I'd love to show you my legs. They're actually nice and juicy. I haven't lifted hard for legs for like 9 months. I just started back.
I think this is where he grabbed the picture from that he posted about transparency posting, being authentic. This is an enemy I'd encounter in a cave in World of Warcraft. This is crazy. This is the Ragefire Chasm Trog build.
Up again. So like I don't know. Posing's kind of still weird. I'll show you the scar in a sec. It feels kind of strange. You know, this is like not the greatest physique I've ever had. You see this extra like pec skin because my pecs got smaller. We got to fill that out.
You know what's crazy too? Granted, he had surgery, but with steroids, I mean, if you should just watch the substance, because it elucidates it perfectly. For those of you who don't want to watch the movie or don't know what I'm talking about, Substance, popular movie. It's a body horror film, essentially where they develop a super serum that you inject yourself with, and it makes you young and hot again. Beautiful, even. But the more that you use it, the more on the other side when you don't use it, the negative consequences, it essentially turns you into like a fucking witch, right? It turns you into a demon. It's all about respecting the balance. But all this to say that when you take drugs and you stop working out or you have surgery or anything of that sort, you can see how rapidly you decline and regress. Whereas if you're natural, sure, you'll lose a bit of strength and performance, but the actual muscle mass doesn't really go anywhere. And when you start lifting again or getting back into it, it comes back like that.
A little bit of ab situation. I don't actually carry a lot of fat on my abs. Like, this is all pretty lean. And look, arms look decent. Hit some poses and stuff. Yeah, you guys, yeah. And let's see what's going on back there. This is gonna be a little gross. So first of all, as you guys can tell, there's still lots of fluid retention here, like a ton. Like all of this is like an inch of fluid, but
Oh my god, dude.
already, I don't have any love handles. Crazy. And
But you could see his stomach from the back.
let's see here. That feels strange because I can feel the scar moving. I don't know.
This is beyond gnarly. This is blasphemous.
Yeah, like shit's happening. So you guys will notice the scar is a 270 procedure. So the scars start here, right? And go all the way around to the back.
Dude, how as a doctor do you sign off on this? This is like...
And see if I can pull the ass crack up a little bit. Right here in the very back next to my...
Dude, I can't look at that, bro. Stop, dude. This is fucking insane.
Anal cleavage, as it's actually called. I had a bunch of open holes that still look a little funky in there. That was really not fun. So now that's kind of nice and crusty, which the doctors say is a good thing. So yeah, I can still do the whole trick here. Still do that. So this is just my natural relaxed posture. I just have like loose abdominal muscles or some shit, and no.
I don't think that's healthy, bro. Holy shit.
Training abs doesn't help those. It's just genetics. But
oh my god, he's gonna get ab surgery next.
when I tighten up, looks not too shabby. And so this is me with actually pretty high body fat, relatively speaking. Now I don't store any in my love handles. I store it more in my intra-abdominal region. My back has a lot of fat in it. But over the next few weeks, really over the next few months, I'm gonna be increasing muscle, decreasing fat, just because like, hey, when you add training back in, that's what happens. And then we'll go from here. As far as personal shit, how I feel about this, like, as far as being out of training entirely for 6 weeks, I f with this hard, man. 230 pounds with like some semblance of abs.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, man, that's pretty sweet. 5'6", not bad. I've been more jacked before for sure, but I'm too fucking old and too mature, not mentally, because you guys know my stupid dick jokes never end. I've been in this shit too long to worry about, am I gonna get my old body back? I am going to exceed my old body.
I appreciate the positive thinking and mindset. But I'm at a loss for words otherwise.
Still gonna put the best body together that I ever have. I'm very convinced of this. Not unlike athlete vibes, which are also cool, but unlike science. Like, I know how muscle regain works. I still have lots of triggers to pull in my training and my pharmaceuticals and stuff, which discounts using a lot of drugs, so I'm never doing that again. But like, yeah, if this is TRT bod after 6 weeks of no lifting, put in a little super TRT and lift for 6 months, shit's gonna get wacky.
Put in a little super TRT. These people have no shame, bro.
I'm super excited about that. And Yahoo. So before I sign you guys off, I want to talk a little bit with my shirt on. Just one kind of big takeaway, big lesson that I'm learning from all this, and maybe it'll help you guys as well. All right, guys. So that's kind of...
Bro looks like a pregnant werewolf, man.
what my workout looks like. I'll be increasing, as I said earlier in the video, a little bit more each week, really being patient. And, you know, so far, like, the results look cool to me. Apparently, a month in, the vast majority of the swelling is still in place. As that comes down, it's supposed to come down like 60 to 70% by the 3rd month, and then another, 15 or 20% by the 6th month. And then the rest of it actually takes another 6 months. It's kind of like a decaying exponential. And so, being that I already think like my waistline looks pretty fucking sweet, way better than it ever looked pre-surgery. Like,
I'm getting hit with the dark reality of how sad this situation is. Like, I almost don't like talking about it, because this is body dysmorphia, in my opinion, on a whole other level, and it's incentivized monetarily through the algorithm and making money off of this exact debacle situation, what have you. You milk the parasocial relationship by being honest with your audience. Look, this is what I look like. Look at what I did to myself. I'm a bit of a transhumanist where I will use anything and everything at my disposal to get to that next level. All while injecting some perhaps true scientific approaches to building muscle. It's just a dangerous concoction of normalization that I want no part of. In fact, I'm scared at where this ends.
and I'm pretty damn excited, and I'm holding a bit more body fat overall. So like, as I get back to my usual leanness and the waist comes down, I'm like trying not to get too ahead of myself and too excited. But I'm really, really happy with it so far, and I can't wait to see what's next. But that getting ahead and getting excited stuff is what I wanted to talk to you guys about as the kind of last point for today. 2 big weapons that you can deploy that require...
He has a lot of money. Why doesn't he just buy a sports car or something? Bro, I don't know why people do what they do when they have the money that they have. Because I am gunning for that Nismo GTR. And I just know it's going to be... It will quell any sort of midlife crisis. In my case, quarter-life crisis that I may be going through. Just a little bit of retail therapy, just blowing fat stacks on that holy grail. Fuck it. We ball. Versus, I don't know. There's something cathartic about setting your eyes on something and just pulling trigger versus these psychological journeys that take you down these dark paths.
No special talent on your part, no special knowledge, and they're not difficult to employ in the technical sense. They do require some restraint, are strategy and patience. With strategy and patience, you can accomplish an unbelievable amount, just in your life in general, for sure in your training. I'm not just willy-nillying this stuff. I have a plan for how I'm gonna come back, and the plan isn't a plan that I'm so excited about. Again, I wanna just be hammering the shit. I'm gonna go into my room, watch every Ronnie Coleman DVD ever recorded, come out and just bash my head into a bloody pulp against weights, 100%. But I know that strategic...
How did that turn out for Ronnie Coleman? He can't even walk, dude. He turned himself into a cripple.
It's a good idea to start easy and set up a progression, and then eventually when I'm cleared for full stop.
And second of all, Ronnie Coleman was arguably the best open bodybuilder of all time. Classic, whatever the fuck he was. Granted, that level of musculature is frankly disgusting, but it gets to a certain point where it's freakish and awe-inspiring. There was juice to the squeeze of Ronnie Coleman in some capacity, where he cemented himself as a legend in the space. I don't know if that's in the cards here.
Get into that, and just in a few months, I'll have forgotten all of this ever happened. Because if you ever think about it, stuff in your life that happened a while ago, you're like, yeah, it seemed like it happened really fast. So that whole situation is going to mean that if I play my cards right, 3 or 4 months from now, I'll have a baller physique again, better than ever. I won't have been hurt for any needless reason. And I'm just going to have all my cards with a deck stacked in my favor. And all it took was just strategy.
It could be Delulu maxing, that's right.
And strategy is a plan. But in order to execute that plan, not falter, not do something stupid, patience is required. And patience, a lot of people think requires this active participation with your mind. Like, oh, I gotta try to be patient and really resist doing tempting things. That's totally valid. I would like to see it in the opposite way in my own kind of internal psychological space. And I learned this from Sam Harris, who has an awesome app called Waking Up. And I use it pretty much every day. And, it's a meditation app. And one thing he says is kind of just like, during meditation, so close your eyes, get comfy, and just sit in the back of your mind and just rest. Like nothing is required of you. And that's how I view patience. Patience doesn't require anything. It requires the opposite of something. So everything.
I was about to say it, but I couldn't quite put the words together. But you just nailed it. Atheist meditation app, no aura.
In you wants to just go hard, go heavy, tear the scar open again or whatever, bust your bicep off the bone after you couldn't lift for 2 months. Just rest. Just sit back in your mind and go, you know what? My plan is effective logically. I know logically I built a good plan.
You know what's crazy though? The older I get, the more I'm starting to warm up to the idea of some esoteric health advice. Hear me out. Grounding, low key, feels nice. Bare feet on grass, who would have thought? Primal, natural. Feels good. It feels good. I know that's a small one. And I don't know how much benefit I get. Like, I'm not going out there and grounding, but sometimes I just kick the socks off. I'm like, yeah, I need to feel the earth. Like, that's my sort of meditation. Looking at nature. Taking a forest bath. Going for a long stroll in a preserve or a wooded area. I think the appreciation of nature is how you truly relax. I mean, some people can't even look at the clouds for 5 minutes anymore without skibbity brain rot, Livy Dunn, Baby Gronk, Riz. Because they're fried, but
I'm going to invest in that plan. Anything that's off plan, I'm not going to have to pull myself back.
Did I get myself some Vivo barefoots? I did not, but I am going to. I'm going to take your word on it. I'm going to try them out.
From doing, I'm just going to rest. Just going to rest in the back, be patient. And being patient is not an active process. You don't have to try to be patient. Just chill. Do your things that you have to, and just chill. Do your things that you have to, and just chill. Much faster than you think. You're going to regain all of your size and strength. You're going to be leaning in.
Yeah, I'm going to go catch some grasshoppers.
You're going to go to parties. You're going to meet someone just great. You just want to kind of hook up with her. But now you're like, it's 3 a.m. There's almost no one at the party. Everyone's passed out. You're still just involved in conversation. You walk her home. You don't even do anything. You text her the next day. She kind of texts you back really fast. you're on a plane, you're going to Taiwan, you're going to Paris, under the Eiffel Tower, the starlight. It's got the video guys there because he's got to get your whole journey on video, otherwise it didn't
What is this wholesome Chungus moment? Where are we going with this?
happen. And you kneel down in front of the Great Wall of China with that diamond ring you got from that probably illegal, super unethical market you guys were just in Africa a little while ago. You propose to her, she says yes, and she goes, I want to tell you yes, and you start crying.
Post-surgery clarity.
She starts crying, but I want you to know it's because you were strategic and patient with your body recomposition journey. It's going to happen exactly like that. And if it doesn't, RP will refund you, no problem. Mailed
Why is it so specific? Because I think he's talking about his life here with his wife.
us at customerservice.rp/xxx, and you'll get $100. See you guys next time.
I'm taking a page out of the Liver King. Nobody talked about my wife under that context. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, so here's the thing. Never talk about my wife under that context. The most W Chad moment the Liver King has ever had. That was a roller coaster, dude. Holy shit.